afternoon show. Looking forward to getting a brace of filmmakers back into the studio. We had them in quite a number of months now. Tammy and Christine were going to make a movie. They've now made a movie, and it gets its premiere in about a week's time. So I'll be finding out what the movie's all about, how filming went, and what they think about their work. And I have to say, it's a very warm welcome back into the studio for a duo of filmmakers who, last time they were here, weren't filmmakers. They were about to become filmmakers. Tammy Berrington and Christine Loveridge came into the studio last year, quite some months ago, to tell me about a film that they were going to make. It gets its premiere in Wellingborough next week. In fact, in exactly a week's time, on the 10th of January. The film's called Chasing Rainbows, and there may be a certain significance in the term rainbows. Let's find out. Tammy and Christine are back in the studio this afternoon. Happy New Year. Welcome back to both of you.
Happy New Year.
Nice to have you in. Tammy, take the front seat on this one for me. What is Chasing Rainbows all about?
It's about a young girl's sort of journey to accept that she has Aspergers and sort of raise more positive on other girls with Aspergers, and how she's trying to find her place in the world, and through it she finds friends who understand her, and you know, she forms a better bond with her mum. And
you two, Christine and you, met whilst at the University of Northampton.
Yeah.
You became friends as a result.
Yeah.
You pulled this project together. Why particularly Asperger's?
I got diagnosed with it when I was 15, so over 10 years ago, and there was nothing about girls. Even still today, you've got to look for information for...
Specifically for girls?
Yeah, because it's still seen as a boys' condition.
Right.
Whereas girls are sort of hiding underneath the radar, because girls are better at masking than boys, so we're better at like copying what other girls do, so we're not getting diagnosed this faster.
So how does Asperger's affect you as a person?
It's sort of your brain's different. Well, for me, like certain things like social rules, I had to learn all of them. So it's sort of different, like your brain's different, like sort of trying to understand why people are feeling a certain way, and sort of it's hard to put your feet in their shoes, sort of.
Give me an idea of the sort of social rule that you mean.
Sort of knowing when to talk, knowing how to end a conversation, sort of knowing when to take things as a joke. And
that must be very difficult.
it is. Like I had such a great support system with my parents, and I still do, so they were really helpful, and they took all the time they could to learn.
But there are no textbooks for this, and people out there, to look at you, they wouldn't know that there was any difference between you and them, other than when they make contact with you, and your normality is a different normality to theirs.
Yeah,
must be very tiring too.
It is a lot of work, but you know, it's just finding people that you really can sort of connect with, and they do understand you.
Christine, making Chasing Rainbows as a movie, you're very much the technician in all of this. You're the editor of it. Did you direct it?
No, Tammy directed. I mean, we sort of share ideas, but no, Tammy was the main director. I was the cinematographer and editor.
So how difficult was it not to make it autobiographical, or did you want to make it autobiographical?
Well, we definitely put some things in that I think Tammy went through, but Maya is definitely a different character than what Tammy is, especially the fact that I think she only has a mother, and obviously you have both your parents, and the way that you made friends was a bit different as well, and her outcomes were a lot different. So there are certain things, like certain parts of Tammy's personality she definitely put into it, and definitely because Tammy was the director, it was definitely a film made by someone with Asperger's.
Do you think that made it easier to make as a movie, because you've got somebody who has the Asperger's condition? Did it make it easier to film something about Asperger's, as distinct from somebody who perhaps might have read about Asperger's and then came to it with a different kind of a cinematographic idea?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Tammy has Asperger's definitely added to it, and you know, she was absolutely great on set as well. I mean, and Tammy's great as a filmmaker anyway, because she's really good at organising things. I mean, I'm not so great at organising, but she's really good. She's really on the ball at getting actors at the right time and making all the paperwork and stuff. I mean, she's brilliant at that, you know.
Tammy, it was some time ago when we had you into the studio.
Yeah.
You were looking forward to making the movie, but if I remember rightly, you were a bit nervous about it too.
Yeah, because obviously I haven't directed in ages, and I don't class myself as a director still. I'm a producer and a writer. That's how I see myself. So, but because it was a project so close to my heart that I really wanted to sort of direct it, and the cast were amazing. Like the lead, Louise, was seriously the best person you can work with. She
was great. She's got these eyes that there's so much expression in them, and she doesn't even have to say anything. You can just see everything behind her eyes, and it's great. She's brilliant. She
really took the time to sort of talk to me and to find out how people with Aspergers are, and especially girls.
So how responsible did you feel for portraying the subject of Asperger's in a certain way? Obviously not from an autobiographical point of view, but from the point of view of people who live with the condition, who perhaps do have to combat all kinds of different challenges that the rest of the general public don't.
I felt like a big responsibility. Like, you're making something that, potentially could be seen by a couple of people. So, you've got to put everything and all into it. But I just wanted to shine a light on girls with it.
Tammy Berrington and Christine Loveridge are my guests in the studio this afternoon. They have made a movie. It's called Chasing Rainbows. It gets its premiere next week. We'll find out exactly where and what the future then holds, not only for the movie, but for our two filmmakers after this. At the time, my guests in the studio this afternoon are Tammy Berrington and Christine Loveridge, who together have created a new movie called Chasing Rainbows. It gets its premiere in Wellingborough on the 10th of January. It deals with the subject of Asperger's, which is a condition that Tammy has. Tammy, do you get good days and bad days through Asperger's?
Yeah, because I have this anxiety with it, and I also have dyspraxia, and then I have ADHD.
So if you were anxious and nervous about starting to make a movie, what were you like on the first day of shooting?
I think I was quite, because it was such an easy day the first day.
Yeah, we didn't film much on that day.
No, so it was very...
it broke us in quite nicely, didn't it?
Yeah.
Did you film a tremendous amount? Because this isn't like a 2-hour blockbuster. This is, 20 minutes or so?
15.
Yeah, about 15 minutes, yeah.
So, yeah, did you shoot vast amounts of footage that doesn't make it into the movie then?
Yeah, there is some bits that we didn't put in. There's something that we filmed at the end, which I thought actually, as the editor, would be better if we had music playing over it, as opposed to actually hearing them talking about the lines. So I said that might be a good thing, and Tammy obviously agreed with it.
So no creative differences.
No.
That's
I think both of us were quite happy with the result. Yeah.
How important is it to have a shared vision as to how the end result is going to look? You obviously come at this, Tammy, from a very personal perspective because you have Asperger's. Christine, you don't. So can you be a bit more dispassionate about it? Is that why the collaboration between the two of you works?
No, I mean, I would say, even though Tammy obviously has Asperger's and it's her sort of... not her story, but it's her baby. She wrote it. I definitely because I'm friends with Tammy. It obviously means a lot to me as well, and because obviously one of the main topics in the film is a girl with Asperger's finding friends. In that sense, it meant a lot to me because I'm obviously Tammy's friend.
So there is a parallel story in that case.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Even though it's not explicit.
Yeah.
Within the movie.
Yeah.
15 minutes worth of screen time. You're going to get a premiere. What are you going to be doing next week?
Well, the premiere starts at 5:00. But it goes onwards, so we'll have some maybe some other short films that we're going to show. I'm going to have a few people talking as well, so we're going to have a little entertainment night, and at the end it will be at the film.
So is this about showcasing your skills? Is this about making a statement about Asperger's, or what do you see the evening as ultimately delivering, other than the first screening of the movie?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can incorporate. I think we will incorporate some things. I think Tammy wants to say a few words on the subject before we start playing the film. So yeah, it should be pretty good. And we obviously welcome anyone who has Asperger's to come along to see it.
Sure.
That'll be really good. So yeah.
And you're doing this at the Wellingborough Museum?
Yeah.
Dully's Baths, just next door to the Castle Theatre.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Good venue. They've got a great meeting room up there for all of that. Where does this now take the two of you as filmmakers? Tammy, you've made a story that is, or you've filmed a story that is obviously very, very close to you personally. Will you continue to take movies from personal experience, or have you got other plans in mind?
I mean, I think stories that are personal are obviously going to be the best because you put everything you have into them. But I want to do stories that I care about, but that aren't, as personal to me. I think I want to do stories that just affect everyone, really.
And these are going to be documentaries or acted dramas, or?
They're going to be acted dramas. I don't think we've ever done a documentary away from uni.
Oh, not yet, at least.
Not yet.
Plenty of time. When did you graduate?
Last year.
It was that long ago. Do you think now, with the course that you've had from the University of Northampton and the experience that you've now had, are you able now to go out there and say, this is what we can do, give us the budget to go and do something bigger?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely room for that. I think we would love to sort of see if we can get some crowdfunding onto maybe some projects that we do. That would be quite an interesting thing to take on.
So do you see a film company being set up? Have you already set up a film company?
Well, not a company per se. I mean, I think we sort of do films independently together and then send them out to audiences, because then I think if there are too many creative heads get involved, there might be some conflict. I don't know.
Too many cooks.
Yeah, too many cooks for the broth.
Too many cooks. Yeah. I see where this is going. Fair enough. Well, it's a first screening of Chasing Rainbows. It starts 5 o'clock, did you say?
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock on the 10th at the Wellingborough Museum upstairs at Dully's Baths. If you want to go and see the work of Tammy Berrington and Christine Loveridge on an evening when there'll be a series of short films being screened, a few words, bit of a discussion maybe, if you want to see the film, highlighting the issue of the condition called Aspergers, which Tammy Berrington lives with, seen through a very personal perspective, but not in an autobiographical sense, then get yourself along to the Wellingborough Theatre, which is upstairs at the castle, not the castle itself, at the Wellingborough Museum next door to the castle from 5 o'clock on the 10th of January in a week's time. Lovely to have you back in. Congratulations on getting the movie done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's to success in future projects. Keep us posted, won't you? Lovely to have you. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy
You
New
too.
Year.
John Greer.